to go check out this movie, Psycho Chicks Anonymous.
JB Web Show.
Second. Hey, I'm going to this cool Day of the Dead thing in DeLand. Do you want to go?
What is Day of the Dead? What is that?
Oh, Day of the Dead is a Mexican holiday, but it's celebrated here in the States by a lot of people, and the holiday just focuses on gathering family, friends together to remember other family members who have died or passed on. It occurs on November 2nd, and there's always food, beverages, and some of the traditional dishes are going to be really very interesting. I've been told Chef Nora at De La Vega restaurant has some cool surprises. So face painting, kind of partying, celebrating life, and remembering those that we love that have passed on.
Well, yeah, I mean, you put it that way, I'm going. Day of the Dead in DeLand. Give me the details. That sounds like fun.
Dia de los Muertos at De La Vega restaurant located at 128 North Woodland Boulevard in DeLand, Florida.
That's 386-734-4444. Call for reservations. Day of the Dead in DeLand is scheduled for November 2nd, 2010. Local Business Report on the JB Web Show, where we take a few moments and focus on local businesses that are supporting the arts in Orlando, Florida. Oh, this is in Orlando? Why am I talking like a British guy then? Huh? Local Business Report. Hey, this is JB Webb, and I'm on the phone with Stacy Murphy, one of the two owners of Blissful Lotus, a really cool store here in Orlando, and they support the arts. And how you doing, Stacy?
I'm doing great, JB. How you doing?
Oh, doing real good. So tell us a little bit about Blissful Lotus, and we already know it's unique because you support local artists.
Yeah, well, what makes Blissful Lotus, first of all, we're an upscale romance boutique here in Orlando. We're the very first ones here, and we really focus on the intimacy needs of women and couples. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that makes our boutique special, other than having a welcoming environment, is we also have an art gallery in our boutique that really showcases artists who have sensual and erotic art. So if you're familiar with Nude Night, which is a great event that happens once a year, what Blissful Lotus offers is the same type of wonderful artistic expression, but on a year basis. So we just had our 1-year anniversary this past weekend.
That's awesome.
And right now we have in our boutique, we're featuring Divine Chi and their sensual beauty.
Cool. So we encourage you from the JB Web Show to go check out Blissful Lotus. It's at 1810 North Orange Avenue, right in downtown Orlando, or Antique Row. And if you're an artist, contact Blissful Lotus at blissfullotus@gmail.com, and you might be able to show your art there in the coming year.
That'd be awesome. And also check us out on Facebook.
Awesome. Stacy, thanks for, say hi to Sean for us, and thanks for taking a couple minutes out of your day. If you have a business here in Orlando that supports the arts, contact JB Webb at webbystar@gmail.com. That's WEBBESTAR@gmail.com. And thank you for watching Local Business Report. This activist interview is sponsored by Jim Jackson Murals. Use the trusted hand of Jim Jackson. Okay, we're rolling.
That's right, dude. Got a minute credit record of the year. Pump up the volume, pump up the volume, pump up the volume. Yes,
All right, welcome back to the JB Web Show. I just pumped up the volume a little bit. Thank you, Mars. Playing in the background a little lively music, and we'll bring it down for the people at home. But I have a very cool interview today. It's with Orlando Roller Derby. Did you know that we have that here? Yes, we do. We have Felix Bashit, okay? Watch how you say that, on the line with us. Felix, how you doing today?
Hey, good. How are you?
Doing great, doing great. Thanks so much for agreeing to chat with us. We think what you're doing out there is awesome, and we just want to turn people on to it if they don't know about what you're doing already. But Orlando Roller Derby, maybe you can give us a rundown of some of the teams and how the whole origin of this awesome community activist type of movement started.
Sure, no problem. We actually started last October, so October 2009. It was basically a group of girls that some had played roller derby in the Orlando area before, and some who are new to the sport, all got together and wanted to bring back roller derby to Orlando. So we all got together and started our group now, which is much bigger than where we started.
Yeah.
We have 3 teams: the Sunny Limb Slammers, the Serial Thrillers, and the Bellevue Bombshells. And
Awesome.
there are, at this point, oh my goodness, 40 some odd girls. And we're having a recruitment event on Thursday, and we already had 100 plus girls sign up for the event. So we're just expanding.
That's awesome. So if anybody catches this show today, it's actually tomorrow you're talking about at Universal Skate Center on Goldenrod, right? They can,
Yes.
but they need to go through the proper channels for tryout, or is it just walk in, or how does that work?
It's not a tryout. It is an informational event, but we are trying to get people to email recruitment at OrlandoDerbyGirls.com first.
Okay.
So we can get you the proper paperwork for sign up. But if you don't get that, you can always just show up at the door and we'll have all that information, all that paperwork at the event.
Okay, that's smart. So Orlando Roller Derby.
It's actually OrlandoDerbyGirls.com, but our Facebook works as well, which is just Facebook.com/Orlando Derby Girls.
Okay, well, I'll probably edit myself out being stupid or leave it in. It depends at this point. But I appreciate the correct information. So, which team are you on?
I'm actually a serial thriller.
Okay.
And I'm also kind of coach as well right now with the league.
Cool. So, are there every time you do a derby, it's out at Universal Skate on Goldenrod?
All of our games are at Universal Skating Center, and we practice in a couple different locations, but all of the games are at Universal Skating Center.
Well, the JB Webb Show thinks that you are awesome. We really applaud whenever you're so tired for doing what you're doing and making something happen. We wanted to interview you as a community activist because really that's what you're doing. You're kind of spearheading this movement here to get out, get involved, and there's a lot of things going on in the world, but this is a good, healthy way to have a heck of a lot of fun, even if you're just watching. But if you want to participate, they're encouraging you to as well. So, Felix Bashit, you rock. I hope to come see. We want to come see you live in November and maybe capture a little live footage for the show to re-incent people to go check you out.
Awesome. That'd be great.
So, thank you so much for being on the show, and I'm going to let the information roll so people can get out there in November. The next event is scheduled in November, and here's all the information. We've been talking.
Thank you.
Thank you. We've been talking with Felix Bashit from OrlandoDerbyGirls.com. More of the JB Webb Show coming right back to you.
I like this, and I like that. I like this, and I like that. But I like that about that. But I like that about that. I like this, and I like that. But I like that about that. But I like that about that. I like this, and I like that.
All right, thanks a lot. This is JB Webb. If you haven't heard, we're going to get back on the radio if you vote, and Schenberg comes in number 1. Wrote a little song about it. It's coming up here, but I was on a great radio show, got kicked off, started a web show, and now I'm about to get back on the radio, but we need your help. Here comes the information.
The number 1 position in the Orlando Celebrity Smackdown done by the Orlando Sentinel. You always want to vote for the guy who's recently been incarcerated in any type of Smackdown, even if it's not physical. He's gonna win. I'm gonna be back on the radio, so thanks for voting. The Orlando Sentinel's having another celebrity smackdown. He's kicking them all over the floor. All over the floor. Weapons of mass construction.
Hey, what's up? This is Shaki. I got my own shows on YouTube. It's the old channel. Anyway, I've been reduced to 1 time on the show per day. Check out bombshellbodyart.com. They're sponsoring this musician interview. Sponsored by bombshellbodyart.com.
Welcome back to the JB Webb Show. You're listening to the sounds of the deep field now. We have on the phone with us David Gibbs, the lead vocal, and quite talented young man, David Gibbs. How are you today, sir?
Great. How are you, man?
Doing well, doing well. Thanks so much for being on the show.
Yes, my pleasure.
Hey.
It's an exciting time.
Well, you're a talented guy. You're in a group called the Deep Field Now, and first off, I want to let you know we snuck out one time and saw you live. I personally think you have a great sound, so we want to encourage other people to go do the same. But in order here, I'm going to ask you first to give us a little origin, or give us the names of the other members of the band, because what I think is also cool is you make such a beautiful sound being a trio. So the names of the other people in the band, and maybe a little bit of origin about the Deep Field Now.
Sure. The drummer's name is Sean Bain.
Okay.
And the bass player, and his name is Lance Camphouse. They were part of a group, I think they were calling it Up Overnight or something a long time ago, where they had a good 5-6 people in the band.
Yeah.
And they lost a singer, and they asked me if I would be interested. So I came and listened to some of their demo stuff, not really from their band, but just little pieces of work that they kind of would do on the side as just artists at home with their little studios and drum machines and stuff and software. And I said, that sounds kind of cool. It sounded kind of forward thinking, and I'd just been in a kind of a straight ahead rock band before that, and decided that it was time to go back to try and be a little more outside, and try something that will have its own sound. And so I joined him, and it was 4 of us actually at the time. This guy named Craig Cobb, who was playing guitar with us.
Oh.
And he eventually moved on to some bigger and more wonderful things, and is still a dear friend of ours. And we decided at that point, look, there's 3 of us. Lance uses a lot of technology with his bass, where he can play other synthesizers. He uses MIDI technology to play synthesizers. We have a sequencer. I'm using a Rhodes, kind of like the guitars, because I'm putting it through a bunch of pedals. I'm going to bring out a computer eventually.
It's
really.
You are.
Plays a lot of electronic drums. So.
Well, it's incredible to see you play live, and I did not know that there were 4 people originally in the band, because when I snuck in and saw you guys, there are 3 of you, and the music is incredible. What is the instrument, the piano instrument that you play? I know it's a classic. When I saw you, you were playing a classic instrument. You call it what did you call it?
That's a Fender Rhodes piano.
Oh, dang.
And it's an electric piano, basically set up. It's basically like a guitar in a piano form. Each one of the keys strikes a little metal thing that has a copper coil on it, just like a pickup on a guitar.
Okay.
And so it sends out a signal very comparable to a guitar, except without all the bending and things that guitars can do. But it has its own sound, real solid and really distinctive.
Yeah.
And I've always loved it, and it's really cool to play with it, kind of anchored that sort of flavor. So it's kind of, with the other stuff that we're using with the modern stuff, it's kind of cool because it gives you that kind of offset where it's a bit of the past and a bit of the future at the same time.
Where did the name come from? What is the Deep Field Now? What does that mean?
We couldn't come up with a name for a long time, and I remember thinking about the band when we went down to 3 members. I said, listen, we just need to jam together for a while and kind of establish where we're going to sit with each other, because a trio is kind of a tricky thing to pull off.
Yeah.
And so we did that for a while, and I always kind of got this feeling that it had this kind of futuristic sci-fi kind of thing to it, but without it being necessarily too nerdy, although there's nothing wrong with that either. So we were coming up with all these terms having to do with galaxies and nebulas and all this other stuff, and I remember the Hubble has a picture where it took it's the deep field view, where it's on the darkest part of the sky that it could find, and it took a picture and found like 1,500 galaxies just in that one little tiny spot that it took a picture of, which are billions of light years old. The light is so old. By the time it reaches us, it's billions of years old. And I thought it was kind of a cool concept that things that are beautiful in your life that you really love, that were in your past, the
Yeah.
things that you aspire to love in the future could be part of your present. So it's like the deep field now. And it kind of has that
Very
trio
cool.
jazzy kind of a feel to it, too.
Yeah.
So I kinda like that.
Well, I'm so glad you took some time to chat with us. I got the rest of Wormhole Generator getting ready to roll in the background. David, I want to thank you so much, and we want to encourage everybody who's out there watching to go check out the Deep Field Now live this Saturday, October 16th, out at the Copper Rocket. Dave, thanks again, man.
Thank you very much, sir. We will see you there, or we will see you the next time after that, or whenever we play again.
Well, you rock, and we hope you keep on doing it.